what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be going over to Zhiyun Weebill LAB and giving you guys my final thoughts about this gimbal. I've taken this thing on commercial shoots, weddings, traveled with this gimbal for the past 3 to 4 weeks now. So I feel like I know this gimbal well enough to give you guys my final thoughts about it. Also, this past weekend, I went to Disney World, the happiest place on earth. And of course, I brought the Weebill LAB and I shot some footage with it. So hope you guys like it. So before we go into my final thoughts about this gimbal, a lot of people have been asking about the wireless image transmission with this gimbal, so we're gonna quickly go over that. Just a little side note, this phone clamp isn't included in the Weebill LAB, so if you guys want this, you'll have to purchase this separately. Just a little side note. So before we start, I'm using a Sony. I'm not sure how the other cameras are, but it should be similar. Inside your settings, you'll see something called USB connection. You'll have to set that as PC remote. All right, that's very important. It's not PC remote by default, so you'll have to manually set that. But once you set it as PC remote, you should be good to go. After you do that, make sure you download the ZY Play app in the App Store. And once you open it, just go ahead and select the Weebill LAB and press connect. And it should detect your gimbal. There it is, it detected. Now here is when things get a little tricky. You're gonna see a black screen and you're wondering what's going on. Well, basically, you should see a little circle on the top and it should say live. All you gotta do is just press that and then now you're connected. So now you have the wireless image transmission. This is seeing whatever my camera is seeing. You could change the ISO, the white balance, everything you want to do on the phone right here. So that's how you do it. So one of my favorite features about this gimbal has to be, hands down, the form factor. I've said this a million times, I'm gonna say it again. Look how tiny this thing is. When I was at Disney World, it was very difficult to film there because of how many people were there and all the security guards, because you're not really supposed to be filming professionally in there. Well, that's not really an issue with this because, I mean, this doesn't even look professional. But in reality, it is, in a way, kind of. When you're filming in public, one of the key things you really have to keep in mind is you want to be discreet. You don't want to attract attention. When I'm filming in public, I just want to focus on my filming. I'm not trying to talk to anybody. I'm not trying to explain what I'm trying to do. I just want to film. So with this, no one is bothering me. I'm just doing my own thing and it's perfect. So my second favorite feature about this gimbal has to be the underslung mode. The ability to go from low back to high is super helpful. I never thought I would be using this a lot, but I just find this feature so helpful and so creative. I can get so many different kind of shots going from low to high. It's amazing. But here's when things can get a little annoying and a little inconvenient. I find myself doing this a lot, unscrewing from one spot back to the other one, and sometimes that can take up a lot of time and that's really inconvenient. Also, it squeaks a lot. You hear that? But I did hear that Zhiyun did develop a quick release for this handle, so you should be able to take this off and put it back up here within a few seconds. So Zhiyun, if you hear this, let me get that. But honestly, I can't argue. It's a good feature overall. So A+. I just hate this part. Now my final favorite thing about this gimbal is the locking mechanism. The ability to just lock everything down into place is so helpful. So helpful. This is like a requirement for all future gimbals from here on out. Before, you would have to use Velcro straps or strings to tie it down. That is honestly the most annoying thing ever and so much time consumption. But with this, all you're doing is just flicking a switch. See? Unlocked, locked. This is my backpack right here. This is how I travel with this gimbal. All I gotta do is stick this in my little side pocket, just like that, and it's good to go. I could not have done this with previous gimbals. Previous gimbals, you'll see the gimbal just wobbling everywhere like this. Imagine traveling with this. Imagine going to an airport and the people behind you in line, they're just seeing this. Yeah, this is not cool, right? So those are my final thoughts about the Zhiyun Weebill LAB. Overall, it's an amazing gimbal. I love it. I can't really think of anything bad about the gimbal. If I really had to say something, maybe the app. I feel like the app could use a little work. It can get a little choppy and laggy at times. The wireless image transmission, I don't really use that too much. Honestly, I just use the screen on the camera. I feel like that's way better. But I just use the gimbal for what it does to stabilize my camera. That's all I need for it to do, and it does that perfect. I mean, it can lock down. I can travel with this thing and no one's gonna stare at me when I'm using this little tiny gimbal. They're not gonna question what I'm doing. It's just the best gimbal for my own needs. So I can't recommend any other gimbal but this one. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I gave you guys some good insights about this gimbal, whether you should buy it or not. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and yeah, peace.